Title tags are one of few elements SEOs have control over, and they actually can impact your performance in search. And I came across this thread here on Blue Sky via Search Engine Roundtable. It was reported by Barry Schwartz, and it's very interesting. And it discusses multiple issues with title tags. So the question was to John Mueller. Hey, John, hope all is well. Over the course of the last 3 weeks, I have updated page titles to various pages, genuinely top 10 visited. Usually, I see these changes update on Google within 24 hours, but these changes aren't showing in SERPs. SEO plugins and source all showing correct. First of all, just a comment, and obviously I don't know what he was working on, but in general, if your pages are performing well, if they're the top 10, you gotta have a very, very, very good reason that you make changes to title tags there. For example, are you testing for better CTR in search, for example? That would be a reason to maybe update the title tag of your top 10 performing pages. Then he goes on and says, titles, even Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo are displaying the right title, but Google seems to have stopped updating. I would have put it down to some caching within data centers, but for 3 weeks now, it seems too long a period. Is there some block applied if changes are made? So the guy changed the title tags and they're not being reflected in search, while they are reflected in Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and so on, and obviously in the source code. So John Mueller goes here and says, the title link that's shown in search is not necessarily the title element of the HTML page. This is correct. So this is something we need to understand, that the title tag we have in the code, Google can use it to rank you. However, it is not necessarily the same title that Google will decide to display in search. The title displayed in search is called title link. And that's why anytime I audit a page to see if I'm going to update it or not, I look at the HTML title tag and I also look at the title link, which is, as I said, the title displayed in search. So he goes on and says, we generate these automatically based on a variety of factors, and then links to Google developers. So to tweaking the text in the title element doesn't necessarily always result in the same change in search. So the guy goes on and says, thanks, John. I appreciate there was more to it. I haven't seen this happen across so many pages before and wasn't sure of blacklisting, so to speak. So John says, I don't think our systems have a we don't like this one guy's titles filter. But we've seen some stuff. There are a lot of things that could go into this. It's really hard to guess based on just what you mentioned. Okay, so what does Google developer documentation says about this? So the title links, the titles in search, how are they created? So they can be pulled from the title tag, right? They can be pulled from the main visual title shown on the page. If you have an image, for example, there is an attribute called title. So that can actually be used, which is a very, very minute detail, if you may call it. The H1 tag, content in the OG title meta tags, other content that's large and prominent through the use of style treatments, other text contained in the page, anchor text on the page, text within links that point to the page. So anchor text on pages linking to your page, and then website structured data. So there is a lot of places you can actually find Google pulling the title displayed in search from, right? The purpose of the title tag mainly is for relevance, and it's going to be used for ranking. And here's the thing, you can actually make it as long as you want. There has been some experiments even that, hey, if you make it ridiculously long, it's not a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, Google may or may not use it. And if it's too long, it's not going to use it. It's going to probably go to the H1. So maybe you want to optimize H1 for CTR and keep your title tag optimized. I'm not suggesting you make it ridiculously long, by the way, but I'm also suggesting you shouldn't stick to the 60 characters limit for the title tag. So one thing you may want to do, and sometimes I do that, is I optimize the page title to make it descriptive and fit what needs to be there. However, when it comes to the H1, this is where you want to make it shorter or whatever. And sometimes here's what you do. You can actually write the title tag and see how Google handles it. What title does it show in search? And then you go to that source and adjust the title length and the title there. So yeah, I felt this is a good discussion and I wanted to put it under the spotlight. Hope you found this useful and see you next video. Bye.